Good morning. On behalf of the Sullivan family, I welcome you and thank you for being here as we mark the 10-year remembrance of Gunnery Sergeant Thomas J. Sullivan, a proud Springfield native, a decorated U.S. Marine, and a true American hero. Please take your seats and remember to kindly silence your phones and devices. We gather in this park that bears Tommy's name to reflect on his legacy and sacrifice. In just a few minutes, at exactly 10:45 or 10:47, we will observe a moment of silence to mark the start of the 2015 Chattanooga terrorist attack. Before we begin the funeral program, I have been asked to share this reflection on behalf of the Sullivan family, who are seated right here to my left. At 10:45 a.m. on July 16, 2015, a terrorist attack began at a military recruiting center in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Minutes later, the gunman opened fire again at the nearby Naval Reserve Center. It was there that Gunnery Sergeant Thomas J. Sullivan, a Marine from Springfield, took immediate action. Unarmed, he ran toward the sound of gunfire to protect his fellow Marines and sailors, men and women alike, placing their safety before his own. He barked orders, helped others escape, and returned to search for anyone left behind. His courage was instinctive, selfless, and cost him his life. The Sullivan family would also like to extend their deepest appreciation to the Sampson family. In the days following the tragic death, the team at Sampson Funeral Home went above and beyond to support both the family and the city of Springfield. Amid a national tragedy, they handled every detail, from full military honors to complex logistics, with reverence, professionalism, and heart. When Tommy's body was flown home to Bradley International Airport, it was the Sampson family, alongside now Police Superintendent Larry Akers, and members of the Springfield Police Department, who graciously and respectfully escorted him home. That solemn procession shut down Interstate 91, and thousands lined the streets of Springfield and respectfully escorted him home. The solemn procession shut down I-91, and because of their efforts, the Sampson family efforts, the Sullivan family was able to say goodbye with the dignity and ceremony that Tommy deserved. Their quiet strength carried them through those painful days, and their support will never be forgotten. That moment of unity and reverence was also made possible by the unwavering leadership of Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno. From day one, Mayor Sarno stood firmly with the Sullivan family, clearing every path, mobilizing the city, and ensuring that Tommy's return and remembrance were met with full military honors. Mayor Sarno's compassion, commitment, and decisive action during that time will never be forgotten. Gunnery Sergeant Sullivan was a recipient of the following awards, which are listed in order of precedence: the Navy and Marine Corps Medal for Heroism, Purple Heart Medal with 2 gold stars for wounds received in action against the enemy in November of 2004, April 2005, and July 16, 2015 in Chattanooga, Tennessee, injuries and wounds that resulted in his death. The Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, the Combat Action Ribbon for service in Iraq, Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal with 4 bronze stars, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Korean Defense Service Medal, Humanitarian Service Medal for participation in the relief efforts of Hurricane Katrina in 2005, the Sea Service Deployment Ribbon with 1 silver star, the Marine Corps Recruiting Ribbon, Rifle Expert Badge, Pistol Marksmanship Badge. These awards illustrate Gunnery Sergeant Thomas Sullivan's unrelenting passion for democracy and the protection of this sacred right. Gunny was very proud of serving his country and loved being a Marine. He served with distinction and honor, and it is for this unselfish commitment to our nation that we honor his legacy. At this time, we will begin the formal portion of today's ceremonies. Please rise for the presentation of colors by the U.S. Marine Corps Color Guard. Please remain standing for our national anthem, which will be performed today by East Forest Park resident Andrew Bennett.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early lights what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the nights that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job. Great job. Thank you.
You can sit down. Here, brother. Let me put that up here. Our first speaker today, His Honor, the Mayor of Springfield, Dominic Sarno.
Thank you very, very, very much. By the way, if you want some outstanding egg salad, Barry Krieger is your man. He does a great, great job. And you, too, have been there for the Sullivan family for many, many years. To my colleagues in government, to the Sullivan family, to Joe, Diane, Betty, Jerry, to John and Jesse Sullivan, to my city team, always rise to the occasion. Tom Ash, my Director of Parks and Facilities, DPW, Chris Signoli, and of course our police department under the leadership of Police Superintendent Larry Akers. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you for the facilitation of this event. And to all the veterans out there, thank you. It is because of your efforts America is still the greatest country in the world, the beacon of democracy, strength, and hope and opportunity because of each and every one of you, and we salute you. Thank you for your service. You know, behind my desk in City Hall is a framed version of that. So anytime I'm doing an interview or this, that, people see that about the ultimate sacrifice that Tommy made. And I remember that very clearly when John Sullivan came to see me, and his kids at the time were in baby carriers. And Jimmy Lydon was my press secretary at the time, and it was one late afternoon about helping out. This is really going to be an extraordinary event, and working hand in hand with the Sampson family. Let's give them a round of applause, too, for the record. And I said, whatever you need, we'll mobilize it and get it done. And I remember being on Sumner Avenue by the old sports stuff out there. My wife Carla and daughters Cassandra and Kiara, and holding the American flags. Thousands of people welcomed Tommy home. And Tommy looks down upon us from heaven right now, saying, what's the big deal? I was just doing my job. And you know, a lot of times, I know we're the home of many firsts here in the city of Springfield, innovations and inventions. Merriam-Webster's one of them, the dictionary company. And you always see the hero. Hero's always thrown out. A ball game goes on. This happens. Oh, he was a hero. She was a hero. You look in Merriam-Webster, the definition of hero, and you see Tommy Sullivan for what he did. And from that, the Sullivan family was not obligated. They lost a dear loved one. They were not obligated to do anything more. But what did they do? They turned this tragedy into scholarships to help out young people, because he knew education was the key. His beloved Cathedral High School, now Pope Francis. And then when it was brought to my attention about, Joe, you and Tommy would come out here on your yacht, or was it a canoe?
It wasn't even a canoe.
It wasn't even a canoe.
We were holding our finger in the holes.
And they would enjoy the waterway and enjoy the passive recreation area here. When it's brought to my attention, what better way to continue to honor Tommy than to it was really not a park, but to do it all over and name it in his honor for your beloved East Forest Park area. And now this is another thriving park in our outstanding park system here. And it's hard to believe it's a decade, 10 years. And I remember the thousands of people that paid their respects, from Governor Baker, United States Senators, Congressman Neal, you go on. But what really grabbed me was the average person, the average Joe and Mary, that wanted to pay their respects to your brother for what he did. And again, he was honored with many, many medals and awards. But he did not think twice. He did not think twice when that attack occurred, terrorist attack occurred in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He didn't think of himself. He thought of others and saved countless number of lives. And of course, he saw battle firsthand. So to a lot of the young people that are around that think they're tough guys on the street, Tommy was one tough guy, but he was a compassionate guy. And he knew when it was time to be tough, and he knew when it was time to be compassionate. And that's what our veterans and public safety officials do day in and day out. Thank you for each and every one of you for being here today. This is an overwhelming crowd. But we always must remember and never forget when someone makes the ultimate sacrifice, especially a Springfield native son, Tommy Sullivan, that we will continue to honor him. And again, I thank the Sullivan family, Sampson family, Barry Krieger, Annie and all that were involved and continue to stay involved in this. Tommy, we'll never forget you. I know, again, you're looking down from heaven right now, saying, what's the big deal? And I'd like to be in the boat or the yacht or the canoe with my brother, Joe. God rest your soul, Tommy. Your legacy lives on through each and every one of the individuals that are here. Good health, God bless, God bless the United States of America, and God bless the city of Springfield. Now back to Mr. Egg Salad himself, Barry Krieger.
Solemn occasion, we're talking egg salad. Please welcome Springfield Police Superintendent Larry Akers.
Joe, thank you for the reference, too, sir.
Thank you, Barry. And thank you, Mayor Sarno, and to all of the other dignitaries that we have here today. I'd also like to thank my lovely wife who's out there somewhere who's coming to pay respect to your family. God bless you all. But especially to the Sullivan family. The friends of Gunnery Sergeant Thomas Sullivan. I really appreciate the minute that you give me to speak on behalf of myself and the Springfield Police Department. As the mayor said, it is hard to believe that 10 years has passed since that senseless tragedy. I still remember the moment that the news broke. Military personnel killed in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The shock rippled across the country, and it left most of us heartbroken and saddened. Then came the devastating news that one of the fallen was one of our own. And that struck even harder. That disclosure deepened the heartache that we were already suffering, casting a deep sense of sadness around the city and with our neighboring communities. When tragedies like this happen, I often ask, what can I do? And that question was answered when a request was put out for the Springfield Police Motorcycle Unit to escort Tommy from Bradley International Airport back to Springfield. I was a patrol lieutenant back then, and I wasn't part of the motorcycles at that time, but I insisted that I be part of that special assignment because it meant so much. And as we passed down Route 91 North and saw all the people, all the people on the bridges, the overpasses as we passed under it, yelling and screaming, holding signs, fire trucks lined with the American flag draped over their ladder. It was at that time that question was answered. What would I do? What could I do? That moment, I was so proud to be a Springfield police officer, but even more so, to be a citizen of the United States of America. To the family and friends of Tommy, every day is difficult when we're grieving the loss of a loved one. But Tommy's spirit continues to guide us. Tommy was more than a Marine. He was a son, he was a brother, an uncle, and he was a friend. But today, let us remember how he died. Because he died as he lived, as a hero, with honor, sacrifice, and a true love for his country and for East Forest Park neighborhood, where his memory will go on forever. We will never forget Tommy. Thank you, Gunnery Sergeant Tommy Sullivan, and may God bless us all. Thank you.
got a gun, Barry. You can do what you want.
I remember just over 10 years, no, just under 10 years ago when this park was first dedicated to Tommy Sullivan. It's changed quite a bit since then. Let's bring in Springfield Parks Department Commissioner Tom Ash.
Thank you, Barry. Good morning, Mayor Sarno, other dignitaries, friends, and members of the Sullivan family. Welcome to Gunnery Sergeant Thomas J. Sullivan Park. It is indeed an honor to be here with you today, an even greater honor to be the custodian of this beautiful park, named in honor of a true American hero, Tommy Sullivan. I live within an earshot of this very spot, and Kelly and I walk past this park almost daily, and we never fail to acknowledge, mostly silently, the legacy of Sergeant Thomas Sullivan as we pass by. I am reminded through the selfless and courageous act of Tommy Sullivan and others that we still have warriors amongst us who would lay down their lives for the benefit and survival of others. I am sure that the Sullivan family has been comforted over the past 10 years, knowing that Tommy departed this life with a firm and unyielding love for his country and his family in his heart. I want to thank and acknowledge my outstanding park crews that contributed to the beauty of this and all the parks in our city. Lastly, I would leave you with the words of U.S. Marine Corps Major General Paul Breyer, Commanding General of the 4th Marine Division, that morning in Chattanooga. The legacy that day is one of valor. I can tell you that our Marines reacted the way that you would expect, the General said. Rapidly going from room to room, they got their fellow Marines to safety. Once they had gotten to safety, some willingly ran back into the fight. They will be missed, but not forgotten. Thank you for allowing us to share this day with you today.
We have a team coming up. State Representatives Angelo Pupolo and Brian Ash.
Brian's making a grand entrance, as always.
There you go, my friend.
Thanks, Barry.
They just lost 10 pounds running up here.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Indeed, it's an honor and privilege to be here and say a few words, certainly on behalf of Tommy and the family. And just a few observations. One, I'd like to say thank you all for being here today. As I look around the crowd, I see many, many people from day one. And that means a lot, right? 10 years has gone by. When you think of all the changes over 10 years, there still is a core group of people here that remember and want to continue to remember Tommy. But there's also a lot of new people, younger people. And that means, obviously, the memory is still alive. Things are going very well, if you will, in terms of spreading that cheer and spreading that memory and that message that Tom wanted to send. So thank you all for being here, both from the beginning as well as the newer people. Thank all the military members that are here, current, and our veterans that are here. Certainly, they've been here since day one. And to the Sullivan family, thank you all. Again, it's an honor and privilege to be here. I think, as the mayor said, Tommy's looking down. But I think he's probably using a little bit more colorful language than what's the big deal, right? But, so, it is a great tribute. I live right around the corner, just like Tommy said. We're here, we go by here every day, and it's great to see this park so beautified, right? It's great to see the reflection, the people using it, the neighborhood families and members using it. Joe, when this opened, we had a challenge for a canoe race. We still haven't done it, but now I'm out of shape. Now I'm even more out of shape. But you might be able to win now. But seriously, it's being utilized, right? This is what it's all about, and this is just a small remembrance of what Tommy wanted to do. He died doing what he loved doing, helping people. Let's not forget that. This park helps people. The scholarships all help people. Right, all of the donations, the fundraisers, the events, spreading the cheer, all through the Sullivan family in honor of our beloved Tommy. So I think that's critically important to remember. Certainly he's gone. He is looking down. He's saying, what a great day. Certainly his memory survives. But again, it's in all of us. It's in the Sullivan family that continue that legacy. And we continue to do that through everybody's good deeds, through their help, through their donations, and to being here today. I'm proud to be here today with my colleagues. I just seen Representative Gonzalez is here as well. There's a couple senators that are here. I know Senator Gomez and Oliveira is here. They're going to probably speak as well. But again, we just wanted to say, from the bottom of our hearts, and certainly Commonwealth of Massachusetts, we've never forgot Tommy. We never will. We thank you for your continued dedication, your support. We will always be here. And thank you all. And we hope to continue to be here as we move on to the 15th anniversary and the 20th anniversary. And there's more great things in store. So again, thank you all for being here. And God bless America. And God bless Tommy.
Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, all of you. I couldn't put in better words what all this means. But when you get at 10:30 on a very, very hot day and you look around and see the crowd here, that's what it's all about. That means something. To show up here today just shows how much Tommy meant, how much the Sullivan family does mean to this community. So thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for being here, for remembering and honoring his legacy. This day, it is hard to believe 10 years have passed, but as Angela mentioned and others, we do this to remind the new generation, the next generation. This is why we do it, so they understand who Tommy was, what it means to defend your country, what it means to honor your country. So again, from the bottom of my heart, from the House of Representatives, God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Summer suit, huh?
I guess I can only describe these people as the deans of the Springfield City Council. Catering Walsh and Brian Santinello. I know I saw Catering here somewhere.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I just want to say, I was on the Park Commission also for 12 years, and my proudest moment in those 12 years was the dedication of this park. And I want to say so much for the Sullivan family and Joe. Just want to say quickly, Gunnery Sergeant Thomas Sullivan gave his life while defending his country on that Thursday, July 16, 2015, during an attack on the Naval Reserve Center in Chattanooga, Tennessee. His heroic, unselfish actions that day saved countless lives of Marines, naval servicemen, and civilians passing outside the reserve. Gunnery Sergeant Thomas Sullivan, you will forever be in our minds and in our hearts.
Thank you. And I see what they mean about the crowd. It's absolutely amazing. I want my colleague, Councilor Whitfield, to join us up here. You know, the Springfield City Council, we will be having remarks later at the luncheon. I just want to say what a privilege it is to be included in this, especially moving to me as a member of a Marine Corps family. And I want to give a shout out to the United States Marine Corps that's here today. They've got to be hot in those uniforms, but semper fidelis. And I can't imagine how you are dealing with that loss and the way that you have responded to it. I mean, you've suffered a loss that only Gold Star families know and appreciate. But I think if you look around, you can see the love for you, your family, and Tommy. And I'm so proud to be part of this today. Semper Fi.
I didn't expect to be called up, but I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, for having me. I'm Tracy Whitfield, Vice President of City Council, Mayor Sarno, and all the dignitaries. I didn't know Tommy, but I just wanted to say my dad was a veteran, and your son, brother, offered the ultimate sacrifice. Will always be a hero in my heart, Joe. I'm so glad that we buried the hatchet and got to know each other so that I could learn more about your brother and your son. And I'm glad that I got to meet your parents and your wife before. This is such an honor and a privilege to be here. And I just want to thank all the veterans here and military and police and public safety for all that you do to keep us safe. It's not a job that I could ever do, and so you are brave and strong, and I just want to say thank you for the ultimate sacrifice of the hero, Tom Sullivan. Thank you.
In the years since the passing of Tommy, at Nathan Bill's, they've run an annual 5K, and it raises funds for two main recipients, one of which is the Marines up at Westover Air Reserve Base, and the other one is the scholarship for Pope Francis Preparatory School. So representing Pope Francis, we have Daniel Fenton.
Good morning, and thank you to the Sullivan family for giving me the opportunity to represent Pope Francis today. Rewind back to 2018 when we moved into our new building on Wendover Road. We had an opportunity to name our alumni plaza, and we decided to name that for the legacy of Gunnery Sergeant Thomas J. Sullivan. During that time, the Sullivan family generously started a scholarship for $50,000 to provide scholarships for need-based families who are community service oriented. Fast forward to today, that scholarship is nearly $725,000. And that's a thank you to a lot of people, everyone here in the community, the Sullivan family, a special close friend named Greg Jesse, and most recently, a significant contribution from Peyton Manning from the Chattanooga Foundation. So I just want to thank the Sullivan family for providing these scholarships, and thank you all for coming today. Thank you.
We're winding down the speaker's part of this presentation. Next we have Springfield Department of Veterans Services, Joe DeCaro.
Speeches are getting shorter and shorter for a reason. First off, to the Sullivan family, to the friends, everybody that's here, it goes back as far as I can see right now. This is Tommy's legacy. It's not the, it's the park, yeah, but the park's a visual. Tommy's legacy is going to live within the stories, the laughter that you guys share around the table, whether they're good or bad stories, and I'm sure you guys have some. But that's Tommy's legacy. As long as that keeps on going on, Tommy will never be forgotten. It's going to pass on generation and generation, and after all of us are gone, this park is still going to be here. Remembrance of this park is still going to be here. Tommy signed a blank check. He knew what he was getting himself into when he joined, and he still decided to do it. That was the bravery that Tommy had. He selflessly joined the armed forces to protect our nation and to protect his co-workers, the ones that stood beside him, his teammates, to protect every single one of us. And that's every veteran that's here. And there's a ton of us in the crowd. Remember Tommy's legacy, pass the word on, pass the stories on, remember those stories. Thank you.
Our final speaker before the Marines presentation, East Long Meadow Veterans Advocate, Terry Glusko.
To the Sullivan family, I thank you for the invitation to come before you, and it's an honor to be here to represent all the veterans of East Long Meadow. An American military hero is a warrior who risked his own life, undaunted, to save the life of another warrior. Such was the situation on July 16, 2015, when Marine Gunnery Sergeant Thomas J. Sullivan, undaunted, gave his life to save other warriors. On this day, a domestic terrorist armed with an AK-47 and many 30-round clips of ammunition first attacked a Marine recruiting station in a strip mall in Chattanooga, Tennessee, wounding a Marine. He then drove 7 miles to a Naval Marine Reserve Center and after crashing through the gate, opened fire as he entered the building, shooting anyone he encountered. 2 Marines, one being Gunnery Sergeant Thomas J. Sullivan, a decorated Iraq War veteran, assisted in helping others escape over a fence. However, Gunnery Sergeant Sullivan returned in the face of fire to help his fellow warriors, only to be gunned down by the terrorists. Gunnery Sergeant Sullivan's reputation was that of being a Marine's Marine, whose character, core values were defined by his inherent beliefs in duty, honor, and country. He lived this way, he fought this way, and died with courage, not yielding these intrinsic values. The gauntlet he threw down for himself to save others was a testament of his courage and willingness to sacrifice even his own life. Veterans who have served and those currently serving understand what this sacrifice means, especially to the Sullivan family on this day. The mission of all here today is to memorialize and honor the service and sacrifice of this fallen hero, and never forget his gift to us, which was his selfless and personal sacrifice, so that others may live to continue his legacy of duty, honor, and country. Thank you.
I wanted to acknowledge also the presence of a couple of state senators here, Jake Oliveira and Adam Gomez. Thank you for your presence and kind attention. At this time, please rise as we observe the moment when the Chattanooga attack began exactly 10 years ago today. Please join us in a moment of silence, the moment that Gunnery Sergeant Sullivan and the brave servicemen alongside him lost their lives. Thank you. Please remain standing. We will now present military honors with a rifle salute. Please remain standing for the playing of taps. We will now witness the ceremonial folding and presentation of the American flag in honor of Gunnery Sergeant Thomas Sullivan's service and sacrifice. At this time, we invite the Sullivan family and some distinguished guests to come forward for the wreath laying. You may be seated. As we close today's remembrance ceremony, I want to thank each of you for standing here with the Sullivan family and for honoring the legacy of Gunnery Sergeant Thomas J. Sullivan. 10 years may have passed, but Tommy's courage remains alive in this park, in this city, and in the hearts of all who carry his story. To the Sullivan family, thank you for your strength, your example, and your devotion to ensuring Tommy's legacy lives on in the right way with pride, service, and love. And on a personal note, I want to offer my condolences for your loss and for your sacrifice, and recognize how you've taken such a personal family tragedy and turned it into something very positive and a way to honor Tommy's legacy. I'm in awe of your family, and I'm proud to be a friend. Please rise once again as the U.S. Marine Corps retires the colors to the bagpipe strains of Amazing Grace, played by Piper Rory McLean. Please remain standing for the retiring of the colors. Ooh, it already happened. Wasn't paying attention. This isn't in the script here, but I also want to make one more acknowledgement to John Sullivan, Joe's partner in so many ventures. And as far as I can tell, Sully's feet never touched the ground. He helped organize, or did organize, this whole thing. and once again got me involved, which wasn't very difficult at all. So thank you, Joe and Sully, for keeping me involved, because there's no better way I can spend my time to pay tribute to the legacy of your brother. I can only imagine. So God bless Gunnery Sergeant Thomas J. Sullivan. God bless all those who serve, and God bless the city of Springfield. We invite everyone to join us for a luncheon in Tommy's honor at the Thomas J. Sullivan Banquet Hall, located inside Nathan Bill's Bar and Restaurant at 110 Island Pond Road. All are welcome. We thank you for your continued support in honoring Tommy's legacy. Go in peace.